Yep. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday we discussed about working with HTML parsing, right? So I will just give a summary about yesterday's point, what we learned. We created another classroom group, people who already joined. So you just keep in that same group, and people who are unable to join the old one, we will share another second group. In both, same content will be uploaded every day, right? We are splitting into two groups. The second group, people who are unable to join that, this is the second group classroom code. People who already joined, please don't again join into this group because you will be blocking other people. This is the second group code. People who already joined previous group, you keep in that. We will upload content into both groups. Okay. This is the new group. Let me share this link to others. Yeah. So all the classroom related notes we will upload into both of these groups. So people who are newly attending from today, yesterday, don't have the group, you join into this. We will upload all the classroom related content here. Okay. So yeah, let's see the summary of what we learned in the yesterday's session. We discussed about HTML parsing. HTML parsing, we learned how HTML is translated. You remembered the flow, right? How HTML parsing works. We discussed the basic flow. So can you tell the flow what it is? First, developer writes what? Markup. Markup is converted into bytes. Bytes are converted into characters, are converted into tokens. Tokens are also called as tags. These tokens are converted into node. Nodes are also called as elements, and the elements are converted into, they are arranged into DOM. What is DOM? Document object model. Document object model. And in this DOM will undergo the process of layout. After layout, render. After render, paint. Paint is the final process where the output comes. That is the basic flow we discussed. One more thing we learned. So types of elements in HTML. How many types of elements are there? 5. What are those? Normal elements, void elements, RC data elements, raw text elements, foreign elements. Foreign elements. What is void element? Void element will not return any presentation directly, right? And a void element doesn't require an end tag. Normal element requires both start and end tags. What is RC data means? That means what is its nature? RC data elements will not allow any another element within. It is used for presenting only plain text, right? These all different types of elements we discuss. HTML have hundreds of elements, but all those elements belong to any of these 5 categories. So while learning, we will learn whether it is a normal or void or other type of elements, right? Next important is, after understanding the elements, yesterday I showed you setup. Setup environment for web application. That means in order to start learning HTML practically, we need to set up environment for web application. I will show you the process that you have to practically do. For that, I told you yesterday, you have to install Node.js. We are installing Node.js for a package manager called npm. So every software developer have a package manager in his computer. What is the responsibility of this package manager is, it is a software. By using that software, they can install any library they want easily. They can install, they can upgrade, they can uninstall the libraries. You are a Java, .NET, PHP, Python, or web, any developer, you need different libraries. And generally, we have to visit the website where library is present. We need to download the files and copy them into our project. Instead of doing that, if you have a package manager, it is very easy to install any library for your project that you are going to learn how to use it. So first you have to download and install Node.js. Yesterday I showed you the process. So the official website Node.js, this is the official website. From here you can download and install. Yesterday I showed you the process. Everyone done it? Have you tried? Right. So you need to practice what we are discussing is class immediately, because if you keep pending, then you cannot catch the concepts easily. So what we discussed today, you need to finish practically doing that by tomorrow. So if any issues are there, offline people can bring your systems and show me what issues you are facing. For online people, after the session ends, we will take the doubts and we can clarify their doubts by sharing the screen and all, right? So after installing Node.js, one more important is you have to download and install editor. We are using an editor called Visual Studio Code. So generally, what is editor purpose? What is the purpose of an editor? What is the purpose of an editor? Actually, the point is, suppose, can we write a Java program in Notepad? Yes, we can. You can write even C, C++ programs also in Notepad. Can you compile in Notepad? No. For that, we need a separate environment. Can you see the output in the same location? No, we need a different place. So what is editor is nothing but actually editor provides an IDE, integrated development environment. Integrated development environment. So it provides an IDE, integrated development environment. What is the advantage of this IDE is, so you can build, you can debug, you can test, and you can deploy the applications. That means what is the concept of editor is, it provides one environment from where we can build the applications, we can test the applications, we can find the bugs, means issues, and fix them, and we can even deploy. Deploy means making them live. All these things we can do from one software, and that is what we call as editor. There are so many editors. We can use any editor. You see, this is the official website, editor config. This is the official website of editors actually. You see, these are all the editors we are having. Hundreds of editors will be there. These are all the editors we are having. Different types of editors are available. different technology people, according to their requirements and convenience, they use the editors. So you can use any editor, but for the modern generation of web designing, the best editor for web applications is Visual Studio Code. So it is lightweight and it has so many features which supports all modern technologies. That's the reason majority people use this Visual Studio Code, and it is free license. It can run on any platform. It is officially supported by Microsoft. So you have all the abilities to run different technologies there. This is Visual Studio Code. This is the software you have to install. So all our HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and later if you are learning Angular, React, everything you are going to work on this Visual Studio Code only. So you download this editor on your computer. So it's a simple download process. That is the Visual Studio Code editor. Don't get confused. Actually, there are two softwares, Visual Studio Code. You don't need Visual Studio. You need Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio is very heavy. That is not for you. That is for the people who are dealing with Microsoft technologies like .NET and all. For you, you need Visual Studio Code. You have to download and install this Visual Studio Code. Actually, when you download and install this Visual Studio Code in your computer, in the programs, you will find this Visual Studio Code. So this is the editor that we are going to use for building web applications. Actually, the home screen of this editor looks like this. This is Visual Studio Code editor. So you have to do two things. First, download that Node.js. After that, you download this Visual Studio Code, right? So once it downloaded this Visual Studio Code, that is the editor, one more work you have to do. What we need to do is next thing. Yesterday I told you those two things. One is Node.js, another one Visual Studio Code. After you downloaded Visual Studio Code, we have to download and install few plugins. Plugins, or you call extensions. Extensions for Visual Studio Code. After you installed Visual Studio Code, some extensions you have to install. Actually, Visual Studio Code is an editor which can work for every technology. Even Java, .NET, Python, everybody can use it. But it is not ready for everyone. So Visual Studio comes idle. It comes with limited options. According to your technology, you add extensions. If you are learning web designing, then you have to add some extensions. If you are learning Javas or .NET or something, you can add some more extensions like that. For web designing, for HTML, CSS, JavaScript, what plugins are required, I will show you. You can download and install them. First important plugin you need is, you need a plugin called Live Server. You have to download and install this Live Server. I will show you that. So open Visual Studio Code. This is Visual Studio Code. In this Visual Studio Code, you will see there is an button here. This button is actually extensions. That is extensions button. That is extensions button. After opening Visual Studio Code, you go to that extensions button at the bottom. You can click on this. In extensions, here in the search box, you search for Live Server. You search for Live Server. You will find the Live Server extension here. You select that extension and you install that extension. Already in my editor, it is installed. You will get a simple button called install. You just click install. It is added to your project. That means it is added to your Visual Studio Code. And why you need this live server? This live server is required to run our web applications. We can run our web applications on live server. Without live server also we can run. But yesterday I told you that in real-time environment, every application is tested on live server only. So if you learn in the same environment, it is easy for you. So you install a live server. And why you need a live server? To run web applications. All our projects will run on this live server, right? So you need this live server. That is one extension you download. After that, second extension is you download another extension, VS Code icons. These are nothing but these are user-friendly icons for files. They are user-friendly icons for files. It is not mandatory, but having it is a good one. Why? Because as a web developer, when you are learning web design with HTML, CSS and all, lot of files you will use. Different types of files you will use. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, like that. Every file looks same. Extension will be changing, .js, .css, .html, but every file looks similar. Then if you are working in complex project, you will be confused with the names. That is the reason if you install this VS Code icons, it will give user-friendly icons so that by seeing icon itself, you can tell whether it is a HTML file or a CSS file or a JavaScript. That is for your convenience. When you are working for huge projects, then easy to identify the files. For that, you need this plugin. So it is a good plugin. You install that VS Code icons. You will see here, you can search for another plugin, that is VS Code icons. You can see the VS Code icons plugin is available here list. This is VS Code icons. You can install this one also. One is live server. Another one is VS Code icons. One more I will recommend for learners, because while learning, one of the problem is sometimes we can't remember the names. So we can't remember the syntax properly. That's the reason you install another plugin called IntelliSense for CSS class names in HTML. IntelliSense for CSS class names in HTML. Actually, IntelliSense is nothing but when you are writing code, according to the words you are typing, it will identify what you are trying to type and it will show the rest of help to you. That means you return the word some IMG. It will start, it will end, it will give help about it. That is good. So at learning level, we can't remember the syntax for every option. So if it provides help while typing, that is better. So you can get that by installing another plugin called IntelliSense for CSS class names in HTML. This is very helpful later when you are learning with CSS and all. So you search for this plugin also. So you need to search here IntelliSense. So IntelliSense for CSS class names in HTML. That is another plugin we need. Yeah, this is IntelliSense for CSS class names in HTML. You can define this. You can install this one also. These are enough. What is advantage is while typing itself, they will show us help, right? These are the plugins you need to keep ready in Visual Studio Code. I hope everyone is clear, right? So you install a editor called VS Code, Visual Studio Code. After that, you open, go to extensions, search for these extensions, and you install them. So now your computer is ready for start designing web applications. Your computer is ready for start working with HTML and all. So these are the three basic things you need to do: Node.js, VS Code, and extensions for VS Code. Why you need a live server? To run our applications, right? And user-friendly icons are VS Code icons, and help on CSS and HTML is given by IntelliSense, right? Once you have installed all these and configured, now the very important part is we have to create a new project. So we need to create a new project. In this project, we are going to build websites and applications and everything. We are going to learn HTML and everything inside this project. You need to build a project. So how to create a project? See how actually project is created, how this project actually works. The flow I will explain. See, first I will explain the flow, then we will create it manually. Actually, when you are learning website designing, web development, website designing, usually we have a web server. We usually have a web server. Yesterday I told you this can be a local server or this can be a cloud server. Currently, first we will use local servers, and later we will learn about cloud servers. Actually, in this web server generally it is a computer. In this computer, there will be certain address for this computer. Actually, this is a PC. This is your PC. In this PC, we will create one folder. In that PC, we will create one folder. That means in the PC, we will create a folder. And actually, this folder location will be in some drive, some D drive, E drive, or C drive somewhere. Now, what happens is, this is called as, we call this as physical path. This is called physical path. In this folder, we will keep all our website related files. All our website related files we will keep in this folder, in a physical path. Now, somebody wants to watch your website. Somebody wants to watch your website. Can you give the address of this physical path? Will you give the address of this physical path? That's not good idea. Why? Because if you give the address of physical path and say that here my files are present C, then he may delete the files. He may rename the files. He may add files. Then what we need to do is we must provide a path through which he can access, but he cannot control it. That means we need to provide a path through which he can access, but he cannot add, he cannot remove, or he cannot modify our files. Then that path is called as, we call that path as virtual path. We call that path as virtual path. Technically, this is called as URL. URL means Uniform Resource Locator. Uniform Resource Locator or location or anything. Uniform Resource Locator, because all our resources are present in a folder. All our files are called resources. All the resources are present in a folder. We cannot give the physical path to anybody. Then how he will access? For him, we will give a virtual path. How the virtual path looks like? Actually, the virtual path will be, generally the virtual path will be for every server, there will be an IP address. For every server, there will be an IP address, or server will have a name. Server can have IP address or name. IP address will be http://127.001. This is the standard IP address of servers on every computer. Just now I showed you install a live server. Na? We installed one live server. That live server will be running in this location. That will be 127.001. That is the live server, or you can call it as http://localhost also. Localhost or IP address. Through this IP address, you can access the server. That means now what we will do is we will give like this. That means http://127.001. After that, this website folder, that website folder will have / some folder name. Folder name is nothing but your project name. That project name. So that what happens is anybody can access your project related files from this location. He can access by using that path. But can he modify those files? No, he can just access. So every website contains two paths, one physical path, another one virtual. Every website contains two paths. One is virtual, another one physical path. What is physical path? Physical path is the location where we keep all our resources. And virtual path is the path that is given to the clients so that they can access those resources. So website related virtual path is called as URL. So uniform resource locator. So every website comprises of two paths. One is physical, another one virtual. So we need to generate these two now. We need one physical path. Physical path is given to developer. What developer will do? He will create files, he will add files, he will design the pages, everything he will keep in which location? Physical. And clients will access and view by using virtual, right? We have these two important things. Now let's create this environment. So first what we have to do in our PC, for our project, we need to create a folder. We need to create a folder. Here one more point is there. Sometimes what happens is in your computer, server is only one, but on that server you may be working with different technologies. You are using Java, you are using .NET, you are using Oracle, you are using suppose MySQL, you are using some MongoDB, or you are using React, you are using Angular. For all of them, server is same. For all of them, server is same. Then how it will manage different technologies? How server manages different technologies? Then what server will do is, for every technology, it will give a port number. For every application, it uses a port number. That means, for example, you are working with Java projects. They will run on a port number some 8080. You are working on some Angular projects. They will work on some port number 4200. You are working on some React projects. It will work on some 3000 port number like that. Like that, our applications, currently we are learning HTML web applications. These HTML web applications run on a port number called 5500. That is the default port number that you will get after installing a live server. That means now what is the physical path of your project? The physical path of your project is some D drive, E drive, something. What is the virtual path? Virtual path will be http://127.0.0.1 and port number 5500. This is the location where all your HTML projects are going to work, right? That is the server location. Let's see this environment. Let's create this environment. So to create a project, up to this, everyone understood? Every website contains two paths. What are those? Physical path and virtual path. Developer is given with the physical path. All the files, entire design, everything he will do in the physical path. And how anybody can access? By using the virtual path, right? Let's see this now. So first step, what you have to do is open your PC locations. PC locations means it can be like C, D, E drives, any drives. Open your PC locations and create a new folder for a project. Create a new folder for project. So open your PC locations and create a new folder for your project. Mostly avoid desktop. Many people have an habit of creating folder directly on desktop. Avoid desktop because generally in operating systems like Windows, when you save any project on desktop, desktop by default don't give permissions for writing files. It will give permission only for reading. That's the reason your websites may not properly work on desktop. So choose a directly drive, C drive, D drive. If you don't have D drive, directly C. In C drive, create one folder and you can manage your project. See, in my computer, what I'm doing here, I am exploring my PC. Some D drive I will take or E drive I will take. So these are all the drive locations we are having. Suppose what I will do, I will go to the D drive and we will create a folder, new folder. I am creating one new folder and the folder name, I will give the folder name as suppose some Flipkart. That is the folder name. I think this is already there. Let's give a new name actually. I will give, I removed it, say Flipkart. That is the folder name we created. Flipkart is our project name. That means we have to maintain one folder. We have to maintain one folder. Let's do that. So here in the D drive, I created a new folder by name Flipkart. This is our project folder. All the project related resources we will keep here. Project related everything we will keep in this location. So physical path is ready. We created the physical path. Now you can close this. Your physical path is ready, but this is empty. Currently we don't have anything inside. It's just blank, empty. Now what you have to do is now open Visual Studio Code. I will give in short VS Code. VS Code is your Visual Studio Code. This is editor. Open VS Code, then go to file menu and open folder. And the folder will be your project folder, Flipkart. That means after you created the folder, now open this folder in your editor, Visual Studio Code editor. So we already installed Visual Studio Code. So what you have to do, let's go here. This is Visual Studio Code. In Visual Studio Code, go to file menu, open folder, and in open folder, select the folder that is in D drive. The folder we created is what? Flipkart, and say select folder, and it opens the folder and it is currently empty. You can see this is an empty folder. There is nothing inside. It's an empty folder. Your project is here. Now everything we have to work in this location, So what we need to set up? how a professional web application looks like, what it should contain, that we need to add here. Let's see. So up to this, is it clear? Right? So simple, create one folder in your computer for your project and open it in Visual Studio Code. That's simple. After that, now what you have to do is you have to open terminal in VS Code. You have to open terminal in VS Code, Visual Studio Code. You have to open terminal. Actually, you can open with shortcut Control plus backtick. You can use backtick. That symbol is actually backtick. It is not single quote, it is backtick. Backtick is present on tilde key. There is a tilde key on keyboard. You will find that backtick there. That is shortcut actually. Terminal is nothing but command prompt. It is a command line interface. Terminal is a command line interface. You see here, after you opened your project, now go to here, terminal menu will be there. In that new terminal, you select new terminal, automatically you can see a command prompt will come like this. The command prompt will come like this. Now, this is the location from where we can manage our project. That means installing libraries required for project, updating the libraries, deleting the libraries, everything we can manage from this terminal. So here, what you have to do is one small change. Actually, generally what happens is this terminal have two options. One is command prompt. You will have a command prompt. Another one, we have a PowerShell. You will have command prompt and PowerShell. Two options will be available. By default, first time when you open, always it will open PowerShell. PowerShell is used for operating system related commands, not for our project. So don't use PowerShell. Change from PowerShell to command prompt. How to change? I will show you. Actually, see, right side, there is a plus and down arrow. You click on that down arrow, you will see command prompt and PowerShell are present. By default, every time, first time when you are using, you will get this PowerShell like this. Actually, PowerShell contains this PS word. If you get that PS, don't try that. Don't use here directly. Change from PowerShell to command prompt. What you have to do? Select here and choose which one? Command prompt. Here you have to work, right? So open the terminal. After opening the terminal, switch to command prompt from PowerShell. PowerShell is for operating system related commands. It is for operating system related commands. You have to just switch to command prompt. I hope in your other technologies also, Java and all, creating projects and everything you do, setting path and all from command prompt. Huh? So otherwise, this is terminal, right? So command prompt is the same concept, right? Now you see this is terminal, it is ready. After you switch it to command prompt, now what you have to do is run the following command. You have to run the following command. This is d:/Flipkart. That is already present. Here you have to run a command called npm init flag y. This is the command you have to run. When you are running this command, careful about capitalization, spaces, everything matters. npm is one word, space init another word, and space flag y -y is one. Right? Because at learning level, sometimes you people come and ask, say that, sir, in my computer it is not working. When I see that, so that you will be not using spaces, you will be missing spellings, you will be missing capitalization. So be careful about capitalization, spaces and all, they all matter here. Even capitalization also matters, right? All must be in lowercase. And now the question is, what is this command? What is this command? Actually, npm is what? Node package manager. Init is initializing a project. You are initializing a project. Do you know what happens if I run this command? When we run this command, it will generate a file called, package.json. It will generate a file called package.json. This is very, very important in all modern projects. Means in all modern projects, you will find this package.json. Every professional web application now in the modern web designing contains a file called package.json. So what is this package.json? What is the purpose of package.json? I will tell you. Actually, this file will be generated for you. This file will be generated for you. See here, let's open the terminal. You see left side, our project is currently empty. Nothing is there. Just you run the command npm init and flag y. When you run the command and hit enter, automatically a package.json file is added to project. This package.json file is added into the project for you. And the first point you need to know, what is this file? Why we need this file? It is nothing but package.json. We call it as metadata. Package.json contains metadata. Metadata means it contains information about your project. Information about your project means what is the version of your project, which license your project is following, what libraries your project is using, which version libraries your project is using. All such information is present in this file. Initially, this file we will not use directly. Later we will use them. But professionally, every web application must contain a file called package.json. And you will find this file in modern applications everywhere. In future, wherever you are learning web technologies, every web application contains a package.json. That is the reason you should know what is this and how to generate this file, right? What is package.json purpose? What is package.json? So package.json, what it contains? So it comprises of project metadata. Metadata. What is project metadata? Project metadata is information about your project. Like, so information about your project, which includes details like, what are the details? Like project name, details like version, details like license, details like dependencies. Dependencies are nothing but libraries. What are the libraries you are using? And library versions, etc. All these details are present. And every professional web application must contain this file. Every professional web application must contain a file called package.json. And you don't need to manually create that file. You just run a command, it will generate. And what is that command? npm init y. Right? So this is package.json file. You can see what is present inside it, but that is not required now. Later you will understand about that, right? So actually, why this package.json is required, one more concept I will tell you. Suppose you are learning some technology like Java, .NET, PHP, React, Angular, or artificial intelligence, embedded system, something. You are learning some technology. And while learning, you want to practice some projects. Because Only learning is not enough. If you practice various projects, then you will get perfection. Can you tell me where you can find free projects for software developers? Can you tell any location where I can find some free projects related to all technologies? World's very popular community. We have a world's very popular community code project. Very popular world's community code project. Even your Java, .NET like official websites are linked to this. They have a community support from code project. Code project is the location where you can find projects related to various technologies. You can visit this website, code project. So this is code project. Yeah, this is code project. This is code project. This is very official. This is very official. Code project is very official. It is a very big community. I think you people heard about Stack Overflow? Because when you get any issues in your Java, C, C++, any technology in Google, when you search, I got this problem, you will see in the results, the first solution given by Stack Overflow. Because it is the world's largest developers community where you can post your issues, they will reply. This is also the very big community. Software technologies related, all concepts are present here. Means help is present here, including free projects. You will see so many projects will be here related to different technologies, Python, artificial intelligence, IoT, DevOps, web, mobile, .NET, so many. Free projects will be there. Means worldwide, several high professional developers develop some projects on various topics. You will even find a project on arrays like concept. That means only arrays used in that project. You will find such projects. Now, why I am explaining this? Because, so you came here, you searched for one project, you found one project interesting, you downloaded that. They will give you files. You download the project, you copy into your computer and you try to run, it will fail. But the project don't have any issue. Project is perfectly compiled and tested and many people used it. Then why it will fail in your PC? Why you cannot run in your PC? Because the libraries he used in that project and the versions of those libraries he used in that project, somebody developed. Whatever libraries he used in that project, those libraries must be in your PC also. Right? That means as a software developer, first, how do I know what libraries he used in that project? How do I know what he used in that project? Then every professional software developer, after downloading the project, first he will go to a file called package.json. He will go to the file package.json. In package.json, he will get all the information. That means this project needs all these. And from package.json, he can install all the libraries. Now it can successfully run. That means how a software developer knows what are the libraries used for a certain project. Which version libraries used. Because sometimes version compatibility also problem. He developed in old version, you are having a new version, issues will come. How do we know which version he used? Everything is present in a file called package.json. So you cannot imagine the modern web applications without a file called package.json. Everywhere you will find it. You are learning any web designing. In future, you are learning React, Angular, Vue or other Python technologies. In every project, you will find package.json. That is compulsory. So how this file comes and why you need that file? I hope everyone understood. Right? How to get this file? By using npm init y. You can see, I will open that file. I will close this. I click on that file. You can see this is the content in that file. By default, only few details are there. Why? Because currently our project is empty. Nothing is there. Later, this file will be keep on updating. When you install any library, automatically this file is updated with that library. This file will be keep on changing. It will be updating. We can manually update with a lot of details also. So I will tell you how we can update, where to update, what to update, we will see them. So initially, this is the first thing you should have in every project. Is it clear to everyone? Right? Every professional web application must contain a file called package.json. What is the responsibility of package.json? It contains metadata. Metadata is the information about your project, right? That is ready. Okay, next step. After you created this package.json, now the next point is you have to add following folders into project. Add following folders into project. Folders. We need to add folders into project. One is public, another one is SRC. These are also professional. Every official web project contains these two folders. So every professional web application must contain these two folders. It is traditional folders. These are traditional folders. We need two folders in our project. One is public, another one is SRC. What is the purpose of these folders? See here. Go here. You will see two buttons are there. One is new file, another one is new folder. We have two buttons at the top in the project. I will create new folder, and first one I will give public. That is one folder. Don't select public. If you select it, any another folder you add, it will be added inside it. So you click outside and click new folder and add another folder called SRC. Every professional website, every professional web application will have these two folders. What is the purpose of these two folders is actually public comprises of static resources. Public comprises of static resources like HTML files, like images, like PDF files, like text documents, like audio files, like video files. So, or like docs, DOCX, means PowerPoint presentations, docs, Excel, all these types of files are present, like XLSX, like PPTX, like this. All these types of files are called static files. That means in a project, all the static files are kept in a folder called public. So every professional project should contain public, and all the static resources are kept in this. What are static, what are dynamic, I will explain. That is an important thing to understand now. We will see that, right? Actually, public comprises of static resources. Static resources, all HTML, images, PDF and all. You want some photos, keep in public folder. You want some PDF files, keep in public folder. You want some text documents, audio, video files, keep in public folder. Public should contain only static resources. Another important is SRC. It comprises of dynamic resources. It comprises of dynamic resources. Dynamic resources like we have CSS files, SAS files, TS files, JS files, like this. JSX files, TSX files, these are all dynamic files. These are all dynamic files. CSS, SAS, TypeScript, JavaScript, TypeScript extension, JavaScript extension, all these files are kept in this SRC folder. All the dynamic files are kept in SRC. Static files are kept in public and dynamic files are kept in SRs. So that means we have CSS, we have SAS, we have TypeScript, so many. That means later when you are adding some JavaScript files, CSS files, all those files must be in a folder called SRs. So these are the two basic folders you will find in every professional web application. That means when you download any project, web related project, and you want to see where the JavaScript code is present, then you have to go into direct SRC folder. That means it is easy for a developer to understand that I can find my code in SRC, I can find my images in public, right? That means what you can do here is see, these are the folders. Currently they are empty. Currently they are empty. We don't have anything. We can keep some content inside them. Let's try that. First, what we will do is I will go to public. In public, I will create again folder. One folder is images. Okay. In public, select public again, add another folder, some like docs. I will select public again. I will add another folder like videos. Like that we can divide. That means all images in one folder, videos in another folder, other documents in another folder. You can have several classifications. This is the professional infrastructure of project. We will not mess up our files all at one place. Right? We put a clean classification. We need a good file structure. Right? Every project needs a good file architecture, file structure. This is how we maintain the files. Now let's do one thing. We will keep some images in this images folder. We will keep some images in that images folder. So now do you know its physical path? Where that images is present, you know the physical path. It is in which location? D drive. In that which location? Flipkart. In that which location? Public. In that which location? Images. That is the location. So you can keep your images in this location, right? I will do one thing now. See, I will open some Flipkart and you see in Flipkart some images are there. So these are some images I am having. Let's do one thing, copy this image, because these people will not allow to save the image directly, because WebP means you can't save. Later I will tell you what is WebP. So let's do one thing. I will take a snipe tool, and by using this sniping tool, so we can capture any screen here, right? Let's see here. I am capturing this. So I'm copying this part. Okay. And now let's save this image. So Control S. I am saving in D drive. What is our project? Flipkart. In that Flipkart, public. In that public, images. In that images, I will give the name as what? Banner. Some name banner. Banner, it's a JPG file. I will save this and close. Now this is one image present. That means now in the images there is banner.jpg. So we have some image. Okay. Now let's see here. Your project is partially ready. So in this project, the main concept is two folders. One is public, another one SRC. Another very important package.json file, package.json. Now, once the project is ready and you added some content into it, next step, what you have to do is, after you created the folder, now go to status bar. Go to status bar of VS Code. Status bar will be at the bottom screen, and click on Go Live. You will find a button called Go Live, and you have to click on Go Live. When you click on Go Live, you see here, this is Visual Studio Code actually. In this Visual Studio Code, you will find Go Live at the bottom. Remember, you will not find this if you don't install live server. We install live server na? We install live server. So this will be available only if you install live server. So Go Live, if you are unable to find, first make sure that you install live server, or sometimes it may be hidden. You just right click on that blue bar. You can select here. So see, live server hidden option is there, right? If it is hidden, then right click and select live server, and you can see Go Live option, and just click that Go Live. See what will happen. When you click Go Live, your server will start. On that server, your project will start. On that server, your project will start. See, automatically this project is going to start and open in browser. You can see it opens browser, and see the IP address 127.0.0.1 and port number 5500. This is the location where our project is running. Project related all resources are present here. That means we have all the resources. If due to any reason browser not opened, sometimes it may happen because in your computer you may have several browsers. One browser may be a default browser. Due to some technical reasons, browser is unable to open. So no problem. If browser is unable to open, after clicking Go Live, you can manually request your project from browser. You can manually request your project from browser, which any browser. You can use Chrome, you can use Edge, you can use Firefox, Safari, anything, any browser you can use. Any browser you can open, and you just request this. What is the address? http:// what is our server address? 127.0.0.1. What is the port number? 5500. Or you can try this one also. http:// localhost and 5500. Anything is okay. You can use the IP address or you can use this. But remember, before you request this, make sure that you clicked Go Live. If you haven't clicked Go Live, you directly try to request this. That means server is not started, you are requesting. How it will work? So to start the server, what we have to do? We have to click the button Go Live. After clicking Go Live, your server starts. Once server starts, you have to request this from the browser. That means let's open a browser. I am opening Edge. How to confirm that my server is still running? You can see in the Visual Studio Code, port number is active na? That means server started and port number is there. If port, see, generally what happens if I click on that again, it will stop the server, disposing and stop the server. Once click on, again click off. When you server is offline and you request it, like I am requesting http://127.0.0.1 : which number? 5500, and hit enter, and it will not give you anything because server is not running. Right? What we have to do, make sure that server is running. That means click on Go Live. Once you click on Go Live, then you refresh this page, you see automatically it will come. And you can directly browse the resources here. See, I will click on public and I click on images, and you can see, click on the banner, directly that will come. That means you have a web application and you can access the resources. We can access the resources. Any file you can keep, you can access directly in browser now. So you put some PDF, you put some JPG, you put some ordinary text files, you can access directly and view. Right now, it is actually working fine. That is working fine. That means here we have to request this or another one. What is another one? You can use http:// what is it? Localhost 5500. And don't worry, sometimes it may not be 5500 because in your computers, if you belong to Java, .NET like technologies, those servers may be already using 5500. Then what our server will do is, our server say that your IP address is same, but port number is 5501, or it is 4400, some other number it may give. How to know our port numbers? At the bottom, you can see the port number. Later, once you are good in web designing, you will learn how to change the port numbers by ourselves. We can keep our own port number. We can set our own port number so that it will run on that particular port number, right? That we will see later stages. Initially, this is the basic thing you have to do. I hope everyone is clear. So we created a project. In that project, what are the files we added? 2 folders. One is public, another one SRC. In public, you can keep some images, contents and all. And this package JSON came from? The package JSON comes in the format of JSON means actually JavaScript object notation. Later you will understand about that JSON and all, right? It contains what? Metadata. It contains all the metadata. So your project is ready. But here one major problem is, where is image? I have some image in this project. Where is that image? In public, where? Who knows that? Who knows that? That means only the person who designed, he knows where the file is present. That is the reason for every web application, we need to provide a good interface. For every web application, we need to provide a good interface. That interface will give access to all resources. We need to build a good UI. This good UI will make the interface easy so that user knows what you are having. User can choose which one you want. Directly, you can provide your resources through an interface. That means resources are present, but in which place, which resource is present, how everybody know? Then we have to create a good user interface for our project. That user interface is called as, we call that user interface as web page. We call that UI as web page. We call it as web page. Generally, I will tell you one simple point. Currently, we created, as of now, we created a website. We created a website. What is the website name? The website name is nothing but project name. That means if anybody asks what is a website, if anyone asks what is a website, technically definition I will tell you here. Website is nothing but it is a virtual directory. It is a virtual directory on web server. Web server. It is a virtual directory on web server. Web server that provides access to various resources. That provides access to various resources. That provides access to various resources. It is a virtual directory on web server. Technically, website is a virtual directory on web server. Generally, what learners have a definition about website is at school, college levels, they will teach you like, means you will see even several websites will tell you website is a collection of web pages, right? When you ask what is a website, then majority of people have a definition like website is a collection of web pages. Currently, we created a website. Is it having any web pages? Are we able to access the website without web pages? Yes, we are accessing. That means website is not collection of web pages. Website is collection of resources. Website is collection of resources, and very important, every website comprises of two paths. What are those? One is what? Physical path. One is physical path. Another one is virtual path. Every website comprises of two paths. One is the physical, another one is virtual. Physical path looks like this, d:/ which one? Flipkart. And virtual path looks like this, http://127.001:5500. We have virtual path and we have physical path. What is difference between the two things? So all resources are kept in which location? Physical path. Resources are accessed by using virtual path. So every website have these two things. And remember, currently our website is working locally. Our website is working locally means we are having a server in our computer. In that server, we are running the website and testing it. Once testing is finished, website designing is completed, everything is final. Now we have to push this website from our local server to cloud. That means we will make it live. How we will make it live? We will purchase one website domain. We will purchase website space, hosting space. We will upload this, we will connect this to that website and we push all the files there. That process you will see towards the end. I will show you how to publish our websites live. How to make this live, I will show you. We can make this live. If we can make this live, everybody can view it across internet. Currently, is it live? It is not live. Then why it is saying live server? Live server means only on your PC. On your PC. From your PC, you can send it to internet so that everybody can watch it. And when it goes to internet, this address will change. This address will change to what? It will change to www.somename.com. Understood? It will change to somename.com, but all resources are present exactly how you design. In the same place they are present. Only the point is the URL changes. URL changes. This you will learn how to make it live. How we can make it live. Currently we are learning local. Later we can see how we can make that live. So this is local servers. Now website is ready. In a website, you can have a lot of resources. If anybody knows the resource location, he can easily access it. Directly we can access. See, directly we can access localhost 5500/public/images/ here I am giving banner.jpg. Directly that image will come. If anybody knows the path of any resource, he can directly access. For example, interesting what you may not know till now is, see, suppose I am opening Amazon. Now in this Amazon, I want to get mobiles related information. Then how you will get that mobiles related information? In search you will type mobile, but do you know actually in the URL type here /mobiles and hit enter. Directly it will go to the mobile category. You don't know that, right? That means you can directly access from here. You can directly access from here. Suppose you see here, I will type here electronics, and directly electronics category will come here. You see the filter changed here. I am not searching. I am just writing the query. That means in the URL, you can directly request what you want if you know correctly. You can't type anything what you want there. You should know correctly the path. Professional people, they save a lot of time in browsing because they know exactly how to browse. That means to find a product, you take 10 minutes. Professional people will take 5-6 seconds to find out. Right? On Google, you are searching for some topics. And I will give you 1 hour time. You can search for a particular topic. And in 1 hour, how much time you spend for searching, and you are unable to find a concept, professional people can find in 5 minutes same concept on internet. Because there are so many searching rules, there are so many searching techniques, there are so many querying techniques, so that developers can, technical people can easily handle them. That means websites provides this facility, but majority people are not aware of these facilities. But if you know them, you can directly access any resource in a website. How we can access? By requesting it. Will it allow everything like that? No, there are certain paths. That means you see here, I am typing like in electronics, I am typing like suppose mobiles and hit enter. And in electronics mobiles, it says, sorry, I can't find. That means everything you can find there. No, there are certain paths. How anybody knows that this path is available, this is not available? It is difficult, na? So it is difficult for a user to use your website just by requesting the paths. That is the reason we need to provide a good interface. Good interface means we will provide a screen. In that screen, we will say mobiles, fashion, footwear, like that. They click on that, then it will access that content and show. How we can create such friendly interface so that user can interact with our resources. And what is that interface? That interface is called as web page. That interface is called web page. Without a web page, can we have a website? Yes, we can have. Just now we had. Are we having any web page in our website? No. Can we access website without web page? Yes, you can access any resource directly. Do you know, for example, I showed you one query. See another query. Suppose there is a website, Tutorial Point. Tutorial Point is a website. In this website, they provide some CSS PDF document, some HTML PDF documents they provide. But if I ask you to find out them and show me, then you will take a lot of time because you need to search where it is. Right? But see, if I know the path, I can request directly like this. Here, I am looking for /HTML tutorial PDF. Like this, I am directly requesting. If I am directly requesting, just like I requested banner.jpg, I am directly requesting, it will get me the document directly and it will show me. That means, can I access any resource from a website directly? Yes. Do I need a web page for that? No. Without web page also we can access. But how do you know the path? That means sometime you have accessed it, you saw the path, and that path you can request next time. Or somebody told you that in this location the file will be there, you can access. That means this is not a good interface, because how do I know in which place, which folder, what file you kept? Then we need to create a good interface from where user can interact. That interface is called as what? Web page. So what is web page? Web page is nothing but it is a hypertext document that provides an UI from where user can interact with the resources of website. So what is web page? Web is a hypertext document that provides an user interface from where user can interact with the resources of website. Our website related resources user can access and he can manage by using a document called web page. Why it is called as a hypertext document? Already I told you the meaning of hypertext. What is meant by hypertext? Hyper means, we learned the word meaning. Hyper means beyond. Beyond. Why it is a hypertext document? Hypertext document means, I already told you that. For example, see here. Hypertext document means, suppose we opened some Amazon. When we opened Amazon, you see some details are present on this screen. Is this only the information Amazon having? No, it is having lot of information. Then where is other information? Where is other information? Other information is behind those text. Like you see, there is a text called mobiles. Am I right? Beyond this text, there is information about mobiles. You click there, it will get that. This is called hypertext document. Hypertext document means it shows some content and it has lot of content beyond what you see. You can see the content, you can go beyond that content. So that is the meaning of a web page, hypertext document. That means hypertext document means a hypertext document. A hypertext document contains information beyond what user can see. That is what actually hypertext document. It can take user beyond the current context. That's what actually hypertext document. That is what actually web page is. And very important is web pages are classified into two types. There are two types of web pages. Web pages are classified into two types. One, we have static page and we have a dynamic page. There are two types of pages. We have static page, another one dynamic. Now, what is difference between the static and dynamic is important. What is difference between static and dynamic? We will see that, right? We will see. So technically, web pages, two types. We have static page, another one dynamic. What is difference you will see, but observe here now. In our website, just now what we created, what is the website we created? Flipkart. Is it having any web page? No, we don't have any web page. But one important basic rule you should know that every web application starts with a web page. It will start with a web page called index.html. Every website in the world, the first screen that you see is index.html. That means, for example, I am watching Amazon. That means suppose I am watching Netflix. When I open this Netflix, you can see this is Netflix screen. When I open this Netflix, the first screen that I am currently watching is actually coming from which file? Index.html. You may not see the name of that file, but this information is coming from that file. You can see. Let's go to our project. As per the project rules, every project starts with which file? Index. Let's add that file. That means directly inside the project, you have to add a new file. And the new file name must be index.html. Mandatory. It should be the same name. You give home.html or something, you cannot start with it. Every server automatically recognizes a file called index. And see now, I will type here, welcome to Flipkart, like this. Flipkart. and online shopping, something like this. I typed something. I'm not using any language. I'm just using plain text. Okay, now close this here. Now let's close this. Now let's request the page, request the website. Let's go and request our project. How to request? http://127.0.0.1. What is the port number? 5500. That's it. I'm not requesting any page. When I hit enter, directly index page will come. That is how the websites start every time. You just request www.subname.com. Directly the index page comes first. If there is no index page, let's rename this page. I will rename this page. I will change the file name as some home.html. I changed the home.html and let's refresh and see now. You can see that there is no startup page. There is no startup page. Which page is considered as startup page? Index. It's mandatory that every website should have a index.html. Mandatory. That means now let's change this. Yeah, of course, you can see home, but you have to manually request it. You click on home, then it will come. We have to manually request that page. Without manually requesting, how it will open? Just change its name. What is that name? Index.html. Index.html. And you can see that automatically refresh. It will start with index page. Every web application starts with index. Now we have two types of pages, static and dynamic. We need to learn what is difference and how to design the static pages. Now we have to learn all the markup language and everything that we will see from tomorrow onwards. Up to this, you have to try. Is it clear? Is it easy? Until you try, it is. Right? If you try, then it will be. If you face any difficulty, let me know so that I can explain one more time the same scenario. Okay, na? Right? Tomorrow we will continue. Tomorrow we will discuss how to design the pages. Okay? Right. Everybody have class code, na? All these notes I will upload into the class code. New class code, everybody taken, right? Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow we'll continue then. Class code. People who haven't joined the new class code, this is the new class code. People who already have old class code, continue with it. Understood? Huh? People who already joined into the previous, don't join again here. Understood? In both places, same content I will upload. 2 classrooms we created for same batch. Okay, na? That is what I am saying here. I given second code. This is second code. Second code also full. Then third code tomorrow. Okay, na? Right? Tomorrow I will share one more then. Right? That, and please don't rejoin again and again. That will be problem for others. Okay? Right? Tomorrow will continue. Thank you. Yeah, first boys leave, then girls, right?